Hey guys, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks, and today we've got the pleasure of watching Ballistic Bad Boy 13 from the North American server playing in the infamous KV-5. This tier 8 Soviet premium heavy tank used to be the best bang for buck vehicle that you could pick up. It used to cost 7,500 gold and it would make, you know, the full credits, the full tier 8 premium heavy tank credits. I guess the reason why Wargaming removed this vehicle from sale was because it did have some absolute awful blaring weak points and kind of still does, but now that you see less of these around on the battlefield, there are quite a few newer players out there who just don't really know how to handle this thing. And that is, of course, this horrible R2-D2 droid machine gunner. This is where the radio operator sits inside the tank, and so that's why this vehicle is famous for having the worst crew member in World of Tanks, i.e. the radio operator. It's a miracle if he hasn't died multiple times throughout the battle. And when you think about it, the reusable medkit could be kind of useful for at least keeping that Brothers in Arms buff going throughout, right? So the KV-5, probably the original idiot-proof tank, because its armor's just so thick and all over the place. It's got 180mm at the front, 150 at the side, and 140 at the rear. Although there is a plate at the back that is substantially thinner than that, but quite a lot of people don't bother to actually shoot. I believe at the lower part of the butt of this tank. Hold on, I've got to just quickly check. Is it the lower part or the upper part of the tank which is weaker? It's actually the upper part, would you believe it? The lower part here of the butt is 140mm thick, but the upper part of the rear of the tank is only 90mm thick, and so I guess you've got to shoot the upper part of the butt of this tank if you want to be able to go through it easier with lower tiered vehicles. Yeah, there we go. But also, one of the reasons why this tank is just absolutely idiot-proof, I guess you would call it, is that it has preferential matchmaking, which at least back in the day was far more useful than it is now, and also its repair cost is just so cheap, and its shell cost is also, well, at least fairly cheap as well, at 270. But then again, it does have a tier 6 heavy tank gun. This 107mm is also used on the T-150, that tier 6 Soviet heavy tank. And while that 300 alpha damage is very impressive down at tier 6, and the 167mm of standard penetration this tank gets is absolutely fantastic at tier 6, it doesn't really cut it at tier 8. Can you imagine trying to deal with a defender with those 167mm of penetration? Oh, a fire there right into the back of the KV-3. Ballistic Bad Boy is starting to rip his way through the enemy team already and locks the KV-3 in place. The fire, is it going to manage to burn him out? Not quite, down to 35 health. And Ballistic Bad Boy, oh, this is cheeky. He's shooting one KV-3 while he rams the other. That's how much superior I guess he feels in this tier 7 heavy tank, and yeah, I guess he kind of should. I mean, fair enough, you don't need the largest amount of penetration to go through those tier 7 heavies from the side, and Ballistic Bad Boy is just outclassing his opponents right now as he rips his way through both of those tier 7 Soviet heavy tanks and now turns his attention towards the VK3001P. So as I was saying, KV-5, really cheap shell cost, if you manage to penetrate with standard rounds, really cheap to resupply the tank, so you could pretty much go AFK in this vehicle and still make very good profit. Well, not very good, but you'd still make a decent profit, more though than you could if you played a decent round in a tier 5 or tier 6 non-premium tank. Although, I'm not condoning anybody to go AFK in this vehicle. That's completely against the terms and conditions, and I hope you get banned if you start to AFK spam in your tier 8 premiums, and I think people do. But back to the game. Now we're seeing what an old preferential tier 8 heavy tank with low penetration. You know, the norm used to be 175. It feels like the norm now is 220 on tier 8 premiums. Against new heavy tanks in the form of the VK101. So Ballistic Bad Boy is immediately compensating by, I would usually say, dabbing his 2 key, but actually he has his premium rounds on his 1 key. And you know what, there's nothing wrong with doing that on the KV-5. Sure, if you can penetrate the standard rounds as he's been doing, you should do. But against these kind of vehicles, you really need every little bit that you can to get all the help you can, right? And 217mm of penetration on the premium rounds of this vehicle is going to go a long way. And wow, the second fire there into the back of the VK101, and his platoon mate here in the KV-5 distracts the other VK100 for long enough for Ballistic Bad Boy to get his flank. And will he finish him off with this next shot? He gets right onto the back. Okay, back of the turret. When's he going to put it in? There you go. Good stuff. Unfortunately, the Black Prince now down to low hit points. but Ballistic Bad Boy picks up his 5th kill while his platoon mate is on 1 kill. The T-34-3 doesn't look like he manages to shoot his platoon mate down as Ballistic Bad Boy pushes forward to absorb the shell for him, and he's getting pummeled by everything right now. And ladies and gentlemen, here we go. It is the last stand of the KV-5s. And look at what the enemy team have decided to do. Look at these greedy E-25s on the enemy team, pummeling rounds into Ballistic Bad Boy's platoon mate. They could have capped multiple times over. They could have probably capped individually by now. And there's no chance that this slow, lumbering Soviet heavy tank would have been able to get back towards the cap circle. Unfortunately, however, it looks like Go Tanks or G073 Enks falls, and that leaves Ballistic Bad Boy in a 1 versus 7 situation. But at least there's only one top tier tank on the enemy team, and that is the T-34-3, who just derps a heat round there into the tracks of the KV-5. Now Ballistic Bad Boy has already blocked 5,400 hit points worth of damage and dealt nearly 6,000 damage himself. We're going to have to see if he's going to be able to take this one down. Oh my word, he's got his work cut out for him, and here come the E-25s. Surely not. Oh, disaster. He fails to hit the T-34-3, allows that Tier 8 Chinese premium medium tank to stay alive with that big old gun, but wow, clutch shot into the back. And that's because while this vehicle doesn't have the highest alpha damage or the highest penetration of any of the Tier 8 heavies, it's actually got a really good rate of fire, which gives this vehicle exceptional DPM of nearly 2,200. So Ballistic Bad Boy picks up a couple of kills. Now his 1 versus 7 is a 1 versus 5, and it looks like these E-25s have wasted all of their premium rounds either earlier on in the fight, although when we look at it, they have picked up 7 kills between them already, and they just don't know how to deal with the KV-5. Don't they know about the radio operator? And Ballistic Bad Boy seems to just ignore these little German trolls on his left and his right, and is focusing down the vehicles, I guess, with higher penetration on the enemy team. The tank destroyers like the KV-65-2, and oh my word, there you go, a premium round from an Su-100. So it looks like Ballistic Bad Boy can't quite manage to put the second shot into the Su-100, but instead turns his attention finally to the E-25 to finish him off, and then focus once again on the Su-100. Wow, great stuff. 10 kills now. 1 versus 7 is now down to a 1 versus 2. And it looks like that E-25 has had enough. He's thinking, oh, maybe I could go cap or something. No, you're not going to be able to do that, buddy. The KV-5 may not be the fastest, but it's certainly going to be able to get back to harass you there. This Hellcat, I guess, presumed that he was going to have the flank of the KV-5. I think the Hellcat's been using the 76mm, the one that you use on the T-67. He's been firing premium rounds at it. The E-25 just tries to come round to joust, try and use his speed to surprise the KV-5, but oh dear, he is shut down as well. And now Ballistic Bad Boy, having got through an absolute melee engagement there, seems to have finally turned the battle in his favor. 8,600 damage dealt nearly. Oh, that was the kill shot right there. Just flies wide, and the Hellcat has a chance to disengage and then try and probably use his camo rating to be able to engage the KV-5 at long range. That's what the Hellcat needs to do right now. And so Ballistic Bad Boy needs to chase down that Hellcat before he's allowed to disengage and then be able to outspot him, which the Hellcat will easily be able to do. The KV-5, terrible camo rating. The KV-5 also awful view range at 350 meters, but hopefully he can track him down. It looks like Ballistic Bad Boy has a decent crew because his view range is actually extending out to probably about the 400 meter mark here. Oh God, voice break right at the end. That was a bit too intense even for me. And it's tense stuff here as Ballistic Bad Boy is trying to find out where this Hellcat's gone. Has he made his way out along the A line, or is he still skulking around the 9 and the 0? It's only going to take the Hellcat 2 shots to be able to finish off Ballistic Bad Boy, but he has a clean shot into the rear of the tank, and he slam dunks him. What a round here. 12 kills, 8,800 damage dealt, and 8,500 damage blocked. What a carry here for Ballistic Bad Boy, and it's lovely to see the KV-5 making its last stand and coming out on top. Ballistic Bad Boy didn't choke like I did towards the end of that commentary, and he picks up the medal that everybody wants, the Kolobanov's medal for standing alone against at least 5, in this case 7, a Pool's medal for those, was it 12 kills? Wow, talk about killing 80% of the enemy team here. A high caliber medal for 8,845 damage dealt. And when we look at, I'm going to call this guy Go Tanks. I can't really do the elite speak here. It was basically Go Tanks and Ballistic Bad Boy who did carry this matchup. He also gets a cool-headed medal for ricocheting 10 rounds in a row, a crucial contribution medal for 13 kills between the platoon, and a steel wall, unsurprisingly, for 8,565 damage blocked, enough to kill his tank 4 to 5 times over. And just take take a look at the credits that the KV-5 made here. 218,000 credits received without any kind of boosters, but I guess with a premium account, after resupplying ammunition, 120,000 credits profit. Not half bad after having to dab that 2 key a little bit, or as I mentioned, Ballistic Bad Boy's 1 key. But when the credit multiplier seems to be so high like it is with the KV-5, it doesn't really make too much of a difference. And there's another thing that seems to be quite high with the KV-5, and that is the experience multiplier. 2,376 base experience points. That is absolutely phenomenal. That would have been an ace tanker if that was the amount of experience he got for probably a double, or at least with a premium account, let alone base. Ballistic Bad Boy put the team on his back here, and I bet you those E25s are ruining the day. They decided to no cap kill all. And I love Ballistic Bad Boy's description at the bottom: when all hope is lost, just let Stalin take the wheel, lol. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was definitely him and not you, just playing phenomenally here. Congratulations to you, and thank you so much for uploading your replay on the What Replays website for the community to enjoy. I thoroughly did, and I hope all you lovely ladies and gentlemen enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, but if you hated it, give it a thumbs down, and let me know in the comments what you would do to kind of try and make preferential matchmaking tanks more relevant these days outside of a godlike matchup like this. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.